If you're looking for a new Abbasid Dynasty strategy to change it up and go for a fast castle, this is going to be the build for you. It's very easy to pull off. I'm going to be talking you through how I was able to do it and get a nice win on a ladder. So let's get into it. So this is an actual Abbasid Mirror I played, and we're on Hill and Dale. Now, I think Hill and Dale is particularly a good map to do this strategy because of the in-base deer you're going to have. So you see that we've got these deer right here because you can push these in with your scout, and then it's going to be a boost to your food because your goal is just to gather that food and gold as fast as possible, get up to the castle age, and start spawning those golems. Now, there's certainly room to optimize the strategy. I'm not going to pretend like this is the fast castle you can get, but this will generally give you that idea how you can do it. And maybe if you don't have perfect macro, like I certainly don't, this might be realistic what something you might pull off. So the idea behind this build is you are going to go up to the feudal age with the culture wing. When you do that, it's actually going to allow you to age up to the castle age cheaper. Remember, they changed this in the last season with the Abbasid Dynasty, and actually now that there's fresh foodstuffs in the town center, a lot of times people grab this. When you're going to do a fast castle, don't do this because you want to save that food and gold so you can age up as quickly as possible. So you see some of the timings I hit as I go here. Now, in this case, I went for my berries first just so that I could start gathering that food up so then I could come back and eat all of these deer here in a second after I've pushed them in. You can also push them right away if you want to, but I kind of like it doing this like this. Okay, so I'm aging up with the culture wing, and now let's pay attention to my macro a little bit. I'll go into the caster mode so you can see the villagers I have split here. What I'm doing, leaving those 8 villagers I had on food and those 4 I had on gold, and I'm just going to put a few on wood. The trick here is to not overdo it on gathering wood because you're not trying to make a feudal army. You want to be basically putting most of these villagers on food and gold so that you can age up to the castle age quicker. So I'm basically just doing this to drop houses, to try to work towards getting that golden age, but overall, I'm not going to be putting more on wood. You see, I've got 4 on wood. That's probably plenty. Honestly, I could probably do even less than that. Okay, so I've hit the next stage, and now you're going to see, look at the cost. What you want to go up is the military wing because that's going to give you 2 camels because your idea is to hit as quickly as possible. And once you research this preservation of knowledge, it makes your age up cheaper. So you're going to need a little bit of wood for that. So you can see now I've gathered the wood I really need to get that preservation of knowledge. I'm going to cue that up here in a second. You can see I'm using my scout to actually push the deer in so that I'm able to gather those underneath the town center, and I don't have to waste villager time even killing them. I just kill them with the scouts. Okay, so I'm pushing those in. And I had already kind of planned out where's my next food going to be, because it's like, yeah, you're going to get this, you've got some sheep, you got some deer, and I know if I'm going on the like truly offensive that I was going to come down to these berries as I start that attack. So like you want to kind of plan ahead. You don't want to go idle as you run out of these foods, so try to transition your villagers early. Okay, so I got preservation knowledge. Now to age up, it is only going to cost me 960 food and 480 gold. And look at this macro. I mean, this was pretty close, and I'm just shy of the 6-minute and 30-second mark. And what I would like to see actually from chat, if you can beat this timing, let me know your optimizations to this build below. I was honestly just kind of winging this as I was going and deciding to do this at the kind of last second. I think if I were to improve this, I would put maybe less villagers on wood, but at the same time, like, this is the wood I'm going to use to drop my barracks now as I'm aging up. Okay, so now that I'm aging up, the military wing, about 6:30 mark, I want to start training up, getting my barracks ready because I'm going to be spawning in those golem. Now, if they've made any feudal army, these things just shred unarmored units. So they're particularly good at that. It's the new man-at-arms unit for you. So you'll see them in action here in a second, and they attack twice as fast. Now, in Abbasid Mirror, the opponent might be going multi-TCs, which is what I kind of bet he was doing here. Now, he did something a little weird. He went for military wing, and he kind of just sat here. I think if he had gone for maybe 2 or 3 TCs and had spammed camels, perhaps it could counter it. I've tried countering it with camels and lost before, but I think it is possible to counter this if you just save up your own camels, but I'll also have to test that out. So anyways, so now my goal is I keep wanting to get food and gold because I want to have that bank. So once I hit the next age, I can have a steady stream of units. And now I'm just putting all my new villagers on wood, and I am trying to be ready to train these golems because they're expensive, 120 food and 30 gold. Okay, so you can kind of see the way I've macroed is that I've got more food than I have gold, and I've left these initial 4 on gold. I think I eventually do add like 1 or 2 more vills to gold here in a second, but I'll show you as I get to the next stage. You see this? I ran out of this food. I'm going to go for that forward berries just to have that. I could have gone to the sheep or stayed on the deer, but I didn't want to be worried about, you know, once I start attacking with these, my goal is to be microing these man arms over here, not spending time, you know, forgetting about my villagers that now have ran out of berries and I've got to move. So I move these preemptively. I've scouted him, know he's sitting in his base. I think it's good against boomy civs particularly, or other civs who like to sit and go fast castle, because you're going to have a very quick response. Our military response. So here come those 2 camels, and now look at this. I'm going to instantly be training up these golems. 1, 2, 3 right there, and look at my resource right now. If I had another barracks, I could get another one, but it's okay because I'm going to, as these come out, get the next ones going. So I've got plenty in the bank, and you can see this, spending my resources pretty well. I've maybe got a little extra food in gold, could get maybe figured out how to get another barracks down, but even look at that. I've really spending my resources. Now finally going to pick up that fresh foodstuffs. I got that boot camp, so I'm ready to cook. And then the first upgrade I'm going to get is going to be the iron undermesh to have some resistance against these town centers, because I know I'm going to be running over. And when you go to attack, what you want to target is you're just trying to idle the opponent, because you're probably going to lose these units. Your goal is to just idle their eco, run around, distract them, make sure their villagers aren't gathering, because they're probably going to have more vills than you, as you can see here, but you want them to be idled and not gathering resources. Okay. So here I come. I like to always rally like one in the wood line, and then I'll rally the other ones towards their food. And then I'm working on getting that extra pierce armor. Now, I actually could have researched this a little bit faster. I kind of forgot about it for a second. But I'm just going to run around here. It's kind of similar to when I was doing the Musafati spam, you know, just kind of running around everywhere, trying to force villagers inside. And, you know, you can see very quickly, this is not at 2x speed. That's how fast they attack. They will shred through villagers if they get up on them. And that is essentially the strategy, guys. So I'm just going to keep spanning these units across the field, and you will see that, you know, I've idled his stuff. Now, if he had made a bigger army, I don't think this would have been as successful. I think he didn't have a great response to it, but in general, that's how you get those units out. You know, if he's got a big enough army or has a defense, you can just, you know, keep him contained, and then perhaps behind this, grab all the relics, take map, consider you can go for a keep drop, you can consider now going for an additional town center that you kind of got your opponent pinned down. Or even work straight into siege and try to end the game. But it's a fun little strategy. Again, you're going to open up with your 8 on food, your 4 on gold, age into the second age. When you get there, you're only going to put a few on wood. I had 4 in this case. You maybe could do 1 less or 2 less. I don't know. I had to mess around with it. Just so you get in some houses. You can see I've got my golden age now. On Hill and Dale, you want to use your scout, pushing that deer towards your town center so your villagers don't have to spend time walking around, and then plan your transition accordingly to your forward food so you can keep a steady stream. I liked the 3 barracks here. I thought it was kind of appropriate, and then from here, you know, I could add in a stable, go for some knights. I could macro into something else. You know, there's some different options of what you could do here. And then make sure you get that, of course, that preservation of knowledge, and then that military, that boot camp, so that when you go for this attack. And now look at this point, I'm overwhelming my opponent, just spamming these man arms, and he really can't kill them fast enough, even with all this garrison you see here. And I'm actually going to, I now have my +2 ranged armor. These things are not dying. So there you go. This is the Abbasid Dynasty Fast Castle. I hope you enjoy the strategy, the Golem Fast Castle, and let me know if you've tried it on ladder. I think Abbasid are very popular this season. You know, it's my most played civ, and I'm going to be looking to optimize this build even further, but let me know down below if you got some great tips from me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.